We're blasting off, no time to delay. Join the crazy Krypton on a stellar getaway. Through the highs and lows, we surf the crypto tide. Strap in tight, cause it's gonna be a wild ride. Ride the crypto wave where the data streams, where the blockchain sings and the future gleams. On the crazy Kryptonaut channel, every single day we explore, we play as the crypto sway. Bitcoin's peaks to the altcoin plains, deciphering codes, unraveling blockchain chains. Grab your ledger, let's chart the stars on this digital voyage. The universe is ours. Ride the crypto wave where the data streams, where the blockchain sings and the future gleams. On the crazy Kryptonaut channel, every single day we explore, we play. The crypto sway. In the galaxy of data, we find our way with AI guides and charts in a colorful display. Together we'll navigate through the cosmic storm. With knowledge and fun, we transform and reform. Ride the crypto wave where the data streams, where the blockchain sings and the future gleams. On the crazy Kryptonaut channel, every single day we explore, we play as the crypto sway. So join us here where the curious.
Welcome, everyone, to the Crazy Kryptonaut channel. And of course, happy birthday to our one and only Kukla. Valentino is even here to go ahead and be ready to give you a happy birthday right away. And so, happy birthday, Kukla. Thank you so much for everything you do. And once we make certain that everyone is through the ads and everything else, I actually have a little bit of a present for Kukla to play on the stream. And we'll have to see if she likes it. I know she has not heard it yet. And so it will be her first time hearing her Kukla song. And also, it will be the first time for everyone. And so thank you guys so much for tuning in. And yes. Valentino says happy birthday. And also he says he'd like to go back to his nap, but he's pretty easygoing. So I assume he will forgive me. What is up, everybody? What is up? I'm going to get through all of the hellos and everything of that nature, and then we will go ahead and play Kukla's song. Well, Kukla, see, I'm actually going to be the person doing the 7 p.m. And so everybody that's here is going to get to hear it a little bit ahead of time. So I will be doing the 7 p.m. evening news. Pops will be calling in for an RV update, but I will be the one sitting at the control center. And so I figured we could go ahead, and that way you would be able to hear it before everyone in the original Mark Z community did get to also hear it. So that is what the current plan is. That is what the current plan is. But yeah, let's go ahead and give everyone the hellos, because thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you so much. Bear, you got the first happy birthday in the chat to our Kukla. You have definitely you have won, I believe, some Greek cookies. I think that's how that works. But no, what is up, Bear and Spiffy and Mile High Trish? Another happy birthday for Kukla and David. Oh, I get my Apple and Kukla's happy birthday. Thank you so much, as always, David. What's up, Crazy Chester? Oh, Donna and Aloha Patriot. I really like your thumbnail, Aloha Patriot. I don't know how you got those rainbows to work with you like that. What's up, Overcoming Victory? Also, and Zombie and Deborah and AHD. Bienvenidos y feliz cumpleaños. Sí. Mucho más años para Kukla. Maria, thank you so much. Richard, thank you guys all so much for joining us this evening. And of course, before I do jump in, before we even play the video, well, before we play the music video, of course, all content, everything on the Crazy Kryptonaut channel is designed for entertainment and educational purposes alone and should not in any way be viewed as financial advice. So please do consult a professional financial advisor before making any major decisions with your financial future. Thank you, Kukla, as always, for making certain I got that one. And yes, AHD Bitcoin and ETH are up, and away they are. We have got an exciting day. In terms of the news, we've got so many exciting things with Kukla's birthday, and the markets are all looking extremely happy at the moment. Every time I went to go ahead and be like, oh, we're up this much. Oh, I'm going to talk about this on the live stream. Every time I look back, we're up more. And we're up more, and we're up more. And so hopefully that continues. All right, though, guys. Is everyone ready? Is everyone ready? Because I'm going to go ahead and play Kukla's song real quick. So make certain everyone has got their speakers ready. I spent way too much time arguing with the AI over this one, but I think that we ended up with something that is pretty nice. And so, Kukla, I will let you make all decisions about what you want me to do with the song. If you do want me to send it to you or let everyone have it, that will be entirely your choice. But I suppose you should probably wait until after you hear it to decide whether you like it or not. And so let us go ahead and play the Kukla song. So I'm going to go ahead and mute myself. It's about 2 minutes. And so here we go, guys.
Our little old town, there's shining lights. Kukla's at the helm, keeping wrong from right. With a heart so kind and hands that never tire, she bans those trolls and lifts our spirits higher. Kukla's got a heart of gold, praying for the lost and the bold, making love in every Greek delight. She's our guardian angel every night. In the chat room hustle when the streams get wild, Kukla's there with a gentle smile. She's devout and strong, her faith's a guiding star, helping those in need no matter who they are. Kukla's got a heart of gold, praying for the lost and the bold, making love in every Greek delight. She's our guardian angel every night. Charlie drives an endless prayers. Kukla shows us that she cares. In her kitchen warmth and love abound. With every bite a piece of heaven found. From baklava to bread, she's sharing joy for every girl and every boy. Cookie pastries are a taste of home in every bite. Love is shown. Kukla's got a heart of gold, praying for the lost and the bold, making love in every Greek delight. She's our guardian angel every night. So here's to Kukla, our shining star, no matter where we are with love.
All right. Yeah, no, I hope that everyone enjoyed the Kukla song. That one took a decent bit of effort with the AI, but I hope that you enjoyed it, Kukla. And I have that song ready for you if you want it. And I know I will be playing it again at 7, of course, on the original Mark Z, assuming that you like it. I figured it might be better to let you listen to it first before I went and played it for everyone on the main channel. Oh, happy birthday, Kukla, and I'm glad. Oh my goodness, crying here. I'm glad that you have enjoyed it, Kukla. Thank you so much for everything you do, not only for over here for me and for the Crazy Kryptonauts, but of course always for Pops and over there with everyone in the original Mark Z community. It is greatly appreciated, and I hope you're having a wonderful birthday. I hope that the spa day and everything else has gone great and that you are feeling very, very relaxed. Very relaxed. Hopefully, work is being easy or you've got the day off as well on that one. All right. No, absolutely. A heart of gold. A heart of gold. Um, he is going to be busy trying to get other things done, so it's going to be a tight squeeze. And so we just decided that it would be safer if I went ahead and made certain that I was making certain that the stream started and everything of that nature. Now he is going to call in to my knowledge, and so he will be on the show this evening, but he's just not going to be able to be sitting at the computer. And so went ahead and initiated Zester protocol where where I make certain to jump in the case of any delay. That way, everything can still happen, everything can still get done, and we can make certain that he's able to call in and give the RV update. So this evening will be a little bit different. But no, guys, I am glad that everyone has liked the song. And of course, Kukla, do you want me to just message you the song, or do you want me to make the song public right away? And so I can either send it to you and then you can make it public wherever you want, or I can just go ahead and put it out there for the world. That is up to you, Kukla. That is up to you. Oh, yeah. No, the AI does a lot to help out. It does a lot to help out. The thing that I just couldn't get it to figure out was it was very focused on baked goods. I think the AI was all about Greek baked goods. It was trying very, very hard, and so the whole song kept being about baking. And so I kept having to tell it, please stop. There's way more to Kukla than just baking, but for some reason the AI was convinced. The AI must have been hungry. The AI must have been hungry. I'm not certain because it would not quit focusing on everything related to baked goods. So that took a minute of convincing. But all right, though, guys, we do have a lot in terms of everything else, and we will be back in terms of the song and all of that for the original Mark Z. So because of the fact that I need to go over and get everything ready for it as well, we are not going to rush through our news today, but we are going to definitely jump into our news today and go ahead and start getting through some of these because we had some interesting ones. And also, I want to make certain that we actually go through and we sell some of our different cryptos that are on Coinbase and we switch over to XRP because with the crazy markets today, we are continuing to see Ripple kind of lagging behind. And I think that's going to change very, very soon. So I would like to go ahead and rotate some dollars over to Ripple. So we're going to go through on Coinbase, and it'll be a good example for people of me going through and trading a whole bunch of different cryptos over to Ripple. And so there's a lot that can be learned through that process, just in the way that the trading pairs work and everything of that nature. So we're going to jump into that one, and we're going to hopefully help everyone out a little bit as they're navigating Coinbase at the same time by doing it all live. And so y'all can laugh at me if I make a trade in the wrong direction or anything of that nature. It is all okay. So let's jump on in, guys, because we do have an extremely exciting market today. Bitcoin 69,139. Matter of fact, we briefly broke 70K just a little while ago. And so we are seeing a booming market at the moment. 4.8% in 24 hours for Bitcoin, 13.7% in Ethereum. I know that Solana is just absolutely killing it at 23.3% in 7 days. Most analysts are estimating that Solana is going to hit $200 very, very soon. Now the one though that we're going to be trading over to that is lagging behind for some reason is XRP. In terms of general volume, it has way more volume than a lot of other guys that are up here, and yet for some reason it is having a hard time breaking out. There's I've yet to find any real data behind why Ripple is delaying behind everyone else in the crypto markets. Now, my guesses would be that there is just a very, very large amount of the companies tokens, the company's tokens that were placed in escrow are being sold in order to acquire capital for future investment in terms of their technological developments. That would be my guess. But at the same time, I've seen no evidence to present there being any type of major sell pressure for Ripple, and yet the price is just not keeping up with everyone else. And so definitely something is going on here. I wish I could find more information to explain exactly why. Unfortunately, it seems as if mum's the word in terms of what's going on there. And so what we're going to go ahead and jump into, though, guys, is we're going to actually rotate some cryptos over to XRP. And so specifically the ones that we will be rotating over today will be our Tezos, our Matic, and I think we're going to rotate our Mana also over to Ripple. And so in order to do that, what we're going to need to actually go in and do, and so for anybody that's been messing around with their Coinbase, this will be a good little opportunity to kind of see the trades actually occur in real time. And this same logic can be utilized for any different crypto on the platform. So just because we're trading XTZ doesn't mean that the same exact pattern would not work for any other crypto that you're looking at. And so let's go ahead and do that. We are already in our advanced trading. We know that we have Tezos XTZ that we would like to get rid of. And so I'm going to look to go from XTZ to Bitcoin. And so whenever you look at this screen and you type in the currency that you want to buy or you want to sell, what you need to pay attention to is what is the trading pair? What's the other option? In this case, I can trade Tezos for US dollars. Those are real US dollars. Or I can trade Tezos for Bitcoin or euros or Great British Pound, although those say view only, so I assume I'm not actually allowed to as a U.S. resident. So we're just going to go ahead and actually trade our Tezos over to Bitcoin. So we click on it. Now we'll be at this screen that we've seen before. We will see before. And so all I am going to do is I'm going to try to sell my Tezos. So right over here, I switch to sell. I'm going to go ahead and sell all of my Tezos, and I'm going to get an extremely small fraction of Bitcoin, of course, because it's only $12 worth. But we're going to go ahead and click the sell button. So if you actually see right down here now, I'm going to go ahead and remove myself since I'm in the way. What you'll see is that our order filled. And so at 5:18 p.m., we went ahead and issued a market order with a sell for Tezos and a set price per Bitcoin. And so we went ahead and made that sale, and we can see here on the status that it filled. So we have no more Tezos. Now we would like to do the same thing with Matic. And so all we're going to do is the same exact process. We're going to come over here and we're going to see Matic to BTC. We're going to go ahead and click on that. And we're going to come over to sell and max. And we're going to see that our about $12 of Matic. We're going to see how much Bitcoin we're supposed to get. And we're going to click sell. And so once again, down here, we see that our order filled. We no longer own any Matic. Now, we had one more that we were going to do that with. So we're going to come over to Mana. And we are going to swap our Mana over to BTC because Mana has definitely taken a big price hit since we made our purchase on it. And what I would like to do here is actually rotate it over to an asset that I feel is going to do better in the very near future in order to make back some of those dollars. So we're going to do the same idea, sell, max, and then click. And now we will see down here another filled order. And so that is going to mean that when we come back over to our portfolio, we should see that we no longer have our weak holdings. And so our weak holdings were our Tezos that just wasn't really getting anywhere in terms of the staking, and our Matic that just wasn't really getting anywhere in terms of its staking. And so now that we see we have $104.53 of Bitcoin, we're going to come right back and we are going to actually look for the XRP pool and now see what occurred here. We traded into Bitcoin. This is a great lesson. This is something that people need to keep in mind when you're looking at these different centralized exchanges, is that there are only certain pathways that you can take. You can't just trade your Bitcoin specifically for some other cryptocurrency all the time. You're going to need to get into a crypto that there is a trading pair for. And so for XRP, our only options are US dollars right here with USD. Those are real dollars. No, not a crypto, your dollars. Or USDT, which is Tether, which is, of course, a crypto company, a crypto token, and specifically a stable coin. And so what we need to now do is actually take our Bitcoin that we received from making those other sales, and we need Tether in order to buy Ripple. And so we're going to go over here to BTC to USDT, and we're going to acquire that Tether that we need. And so it's a roundabout way that occasionally has to be gone through in order to make the trades that you want on centralized exchanges. What would be nice would be to just be able to click, I want to go from Bitcoin to Ripple. And you can do that inside of Coinbase's regular access platform. And so the only thing is you'll get charged a much higher fee. I'm going through and actually doing it manually because I do not want to get charged that higher fee. So we have got our BTC. We are going to want to sell. We're actually going to sell all of our BTC that's currently here and go over to USDT with it. And so we are going to go ahead and click sell. We can see down here that order filled. We got 103.58 USDT. And so I know that's quite small, but right here, we got 103.58 USDT. Now we're going to go back over to what we actually wanted in the first place, Ripple. Now we have the Tether that we needed. Now we can actually go through and make the purchase. And so now we're going to go ahead and actually buy Ripple. And so we can afford 194 XRP with our Ripple. And so we're going to go ahead, we're going to click max, and we are going to buy XRP. And looky there, our buy order has filled. And so now when we actually zoom back out, we go back over to our portfolio, you will see that we have $102.83 of XRP. And so we just went ahead and we got rid of some of the tokens that just weren't really performing well for us. And we rotated those over to one that I personally think is going to have a good couple of months. So, of course, not financial advice, and I have no idea if it will or not, but it seems odd that XRP has not had the same type of price increases that we have seen for other cryptos. And so we're going ahead and we're making that decision based off of that logic. The logic being that Bitcoin's price tends to lead the market. And XRP has not seen that same degree of gain that BTC has. And so that is the foundational logic behind why I rotated everything over rather than rotating in to a crypto that I could stake, rather than rotating over and getting more Polkadot or more Atom or more Solana or more Ethereum. I was feeling as if there's something going on in terms of a price suppression on Ripple. So I'm putting my money over there. I won't be earning any passive income on it, but I will have that Ripple ready when the time is right. Hopefully when the time is right. Maybe my $102 can be $200 in a little bit of time. We will see. We will see. But all right, let me go through and get some questions answered after I went through and did that one. So, AHD. What I just did, was that considered a taxable event? That is still actually an argument between a bunch of different 3 and 4 letter organizations. In terms of the fact that they at this point in time, you should assume that if you make a transaction between one crypto and another crypto, that it is considered a taxable event. AHD, see, the thing here is the prices are all down from when I purchased. So that was a taxable event. And guess what? I have tax write-offs on account of it because I technically lost money. And by doing it in that fashion and by selling when I am down, I am not encountering any type of tax bill at the end of the year. Matter of fact, they might owe me a little bit of money depending on the rest of my taxes and things of that nature. And so it is considered a taxable event when you swap between a cryptocurrency and another cryptocurrency. It is still an argument and a debate that is ongoing. In the long run, do I think it will always be viewed that way? Not necessarily, but always remember that whenever you have created a taxable event, it's only a matter of whether you profit it. It is capital gains when it comes to crypto. That is the number one tax law, tax code for you to keep in mind whenever you are operating with your crypto. It's that capital gains. And you can only get charged capital gains if you gained. So in this situation, the assets that I had there, while they had earned passive income an extremely small amount, they were actually down from my original purchase price. And so a taxable event, but not one that I'm worried about, at least in this situation, at least in this one. Let me see though. Let me see. Bear says Z XRP will have buyback soon, according to Dave Lyon. And main gateway to QFS. Allegedly, those with XRP will be happy. Bear, I'm not certain in terms of some of those things. I tend to always kind of take the conservative outlook. I am looking at it purely as a matter of fundamentals. When it comes down to it, the price of XRP should be higher than it is right now. Do I think that it's going to go through the roof, through the moon? No. I just think that it's going to go up. And so I am looking at it just based off of fundamentals. I'm not really viewing it from a potential massive buyback or a potential major change in terms of the crypto landscape. I think those laws and everything are coming. But right now, I'm not going to be placing any bets on the current administration making anything happen in any sort of a rapid fashion. At least that's in our favor. So I'm confident with my XRP, just as I am with the vast majority of other cryptos that I plan on holding for a longer period of time. When it comes down to it, I don't view crypto in a very short term. I view things in 2030, 2035. And that is how I view owning and holding Ripple. The same way that I view my Bitcoin holdings or my Ethereum holdings or my Chainlink holdings. I view those as something that I will plan on benefiting from in 2030, in 2035, in the future. And that is always a good mindset when it comes to the crypto space, because we've seen throughout its history cycles and time periods where the market was extremely depreciated. And that means if you had placed a bet on one of those cryptos and you really needed that money, you would have had to sell at a massive loss. That mindset is something that I try to avoid, is any type of a short duration investment in terms of my blue chips. If I'm putting my money and I don't want to have to look at it anymore, I'm not going to put it in some meme coin. I'm going to buy that meme coin and I'm going to plan on selling it in a couple days. With things like XRP or things like Bitcoin or Ethereum, I'm not planning on selling them. And that's the way that I view it. I will, if their price suddenly skyrockets, I will sell them and take some profit. But I'm not making that the primary logic behind my purchase, if that makes sense, Bear, when it comes down to these. All right. All right, that's number 11. All right, let's continue on forward with some of the news. It's big boy losses seem to be the name of the game, unfortunately. When it comes down to it, big boy, very, very rarely do you see crypto investments just stay even. Usually you're up a lot or you're down a lot. When it comes down to the larger market caps, though, like an Ethereum or a Bitcoin or a Solana, you you can rest with a certain degree of ease in that they have throughout all of history and their cycles managed to rotate back up. And so I do not have much doubt when it comes to certain tokens and certain coins. On other ones, I immediately become quite doubtful when things go south. But all right, guys, let's continue on and let's actually jump in to some of our news. And of course, the big news of the day in terms of the price in the market is that Bitcoin is up and rallying. Bitcoin breaks out above 68,000 as Solana's 7% gain leads the crypto rally. Mainly, this is being associated with the spot Bitcoin ETFs and the Ethereum ETFs seeing massive, massive inflows of money over the past couple of days and in the past weeks. And so, when we actually come over here and we look and see what some other opinions are, top CEO is betting on a shock Biden crypto flip as Congress hurdles towards a crucial vote that could blow up the price of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. So we are Bitcoin price has rocketed 10% over the last week, back towards 70K. XRP and other cryptocurrencies they're expecting will follow along. It seems as if Ethereum already is. XRP has not yet, but we see Shark Tank billionaire Mark Cuban issue a sharp warning to President Joe Biden over crypto, where he's saying that the Democratic Party is essentially failing in terms of viewing the future of finance in a proper way and is messing with the United States industrial capability to keep up with technology in the future. Something that I've talked about very, very often is that when U.S. lawmakers, when congressmen, when they pass laws and regulations that make it difficult to innovate, that make it difficult to work in the crypto space, that ends up pushing the best and the brightest out of our country. They go to places where they're appreciated. They take their money with them, and they don't plan on bringing it back because that would be a taxable event. And so the last thing you want to do is run away. If you're a multimillionaire in crypto who is innovating, making new technologies that the world needs, that people want, and you have to flee the United States in order to do it, the last thing you're going to do is come back and take a massive, massive repatriation hit in terms of taxes on your crypto wealth 5 years from today when the United States government becomes more crypto friendly. That just isn't going to happen. And that's why it's so important that these changes occur rapidly, because when these people leave and they take their money with them, they're not going to come back with it. It's very unlikely that that money and that intellect, that knowledge returns to our country. It's just not going to. Why would you come take a 20% hit on your entire financial wealth just in order to be back in the United States when you've already spent years living in other countries or keeping your money in other countries on account of the absurdity of the U.S. government and our central bank, our SEC. So it's very important, and that is the reason that we see people like Mark Cuban, who originally was very, very anti-cryptocurrency and now is a huge adopter once people explained it to him. And once he understood what was happening, he became a insane crypto follower. And so he is just going ahead and letting the Biden administration know that they're messing up. I kind of wish that he hadn't told them, even though it may benefit our portfolios in the short term. I think I would rather ensure that the entire crypto industry is soundly on the right in terms of the parties that they choose to support. But we'll go ahead and hope that he does quality things rather than messing around. Not holding my breath in the slightest. But yes, U.S. Bitcoin ETFs notched $948.3 million in accumulation over 5 days. And so between March 11th to March 15th, Bitcoin ETFs managed to actually acquire almost $1 billion in Bitcoin in a matter of 5 days. And then in terms of since the beginning of the year when these ETFs began, they have managed to surpass $12.6 billion in total net inflows. And so traditional finance is supporting crypto. Traditional finance is moving their money in. Despite all the insanity of the current markets, all of the different, well, negative information that is coming out in terms of the future. And we all are aware of that. We know inflation is a huge problem. We know that the US government has dug us a hole that we are all going to suffer to some degree on account of, and that foreign governments have also been doing the same with their citizens. And so we know that things do not look nice in terms of the future of our financial markets. But we are seeing a general shift in terms of where a lot of the big money is going. Big money is rotating over to silver and gold and crypto. It's rotating to land. It is moving away from what we would have normally considered to be the holdfasts of traditional finance. While we see the stock market continue to gain each and every day, anybody that actually looks at it would say that something is funny here, because the vast majority of all retail investors are saying that they're not putting their money into the stock market. So where is this money coming from? Are they printing it? Most likely. Are a ton of bankers and billionaires suddenly deciding they want to buy stocks at the height of the market? Doubtful. They didn't become billionaires by being financially illiterate in the first place. And so we have to wonder. We have to wonder. Personally, I think that the stock market is being absolutely falsified at the moment. I think that dollars are being printed, and funny math is being done in the background in order to continue to make the Biden economy appear as if things are okay. We know the Biden economy is not okay, but for many Americans, if they see the Dow Jones Industrial is up on the day, they believe that the economy is good. They don't consider the job statistics. They don't consider the general inflation. They look at it and they say, well, the Dow Jones is up. The economy must be good. Biden must be doing a good job. Now, anybody that understands economics would say that's not how it works, but we don't all spend all day focused on financial markets. And so for the average American, if the stock market is up, then the economy is good. And that is why I believe that the current stock market, as well, not just the current, the stock market for decades and decades has been it is a false bellwether, in that the information, the numbers, the actual prices are not real. They're not based on reality or any type of fundamental value of these corporations or their business models. It is entirely a propped up system that is then used for politicians to point at and say, look, we're doing great. It's a system that benefits the rich and the powerful, not the rest of us. Not in the slightest. And so I would say, and I believe that when we see these dollars, remember with the blockchain, we actually know that the dollar showed up. It's not like when a stock, when somebody in the stock market or some banker says this is going to be worth this, and there's no way for us to verify it. With crypto, it's all verified information. We know that they are putting their money into crypto. All the while they put their money into crypto, they tell you not to. So all of these people that are wealthy, are in the know, they put their money into crypto and they tell you to be scared, stay away from that dangerous crypto. All the while they are accumulating Bitcoin. All right, we did have an interesting one here in crypto lender Genesis to return $3 billion to customers in bankruptcy wind down. And so Genesis ended up entering into major financial issues, I believe back in 2021, had to go through the whole process. And so they will actually be finally paying back the vast majority of their customers after the court made them. So that in and of itself, a huge win for those whose money was stuck inside of Genesis for years and years and years. They are claiming and as of February, that they would be able to pay customers up to 77% of the value of their claims, depending on future price fluctuations. So it seems as if many people that were a part of that whole kerfuffle are going to be made at least somewhat whole. The reason that I actually brought this one up is not because I expected many people here to have been participants in Genesis, but it goes to the all present, always important fact: not your keys, not your crypto. Why did these people lose their money? They lost their money because they trusted their crypto with Genesis. That's it. And so it is always important. It's always something to keep in mind. Whenever you hear about someone being hacked, robbed, scammed, anything of that nature when it comes to cryptocurrency, they never hacked the blockchain. They did not hack the token. They did not hack the crypto. They either tricked the person who had the wallet, or they actually hacked a centralized service like an exchange. Very important. Whenever I see articles that give me another opportunity to reiterate it, I do. I am certain that everyone is going to be beyond tired of it eventually, but it is important. Not your keys, not your crypto. And all of these stories just make that more and more clear. Remember the Mount Gox people. Remember the Genesis folks. Remember the folks with FTX, with Sam Bankman-Fried. All of these situations where people ended up losing their money is because they trusted their money to other people. They didn't trust themselves with it. They trusted others. That is very, very important. Now, here is a fun one, because remember, the United States government is trying to make certain that people are not allowed to gamble on predictive markets in terms of politicians. But currently, the prediction market is saying that there is no way that RFK Jr. will be debating Trump or Biden. But what was interesting is, do they believe there will be a debate between Biden or Trump? And of course, they're saying, in terms of the predictive market, that it is not going to happen. I don't think that this was in any way a surprise to you or I. No one with a brain thinks that anyone in the Biden administration is dumb enough to put him on a stage with Trump. I can't imagine they're that dumb. They might be. I mean, they do kind of exemplify it on a regular basis. But I am certain that it will be something of that nature, Kukla. Biden will find an excuse. We won't end up having the debate. And who knows, maybe there's a higher chance of RFK and Trump having their own debate than there is of Biden ever showing up for any of them in the first place. At least RFK is mentally there. At least he's capable of having an educated and intelligent debate. In the case of Biden, well, of course not. Of course not. So I thought that one was somewhat interesting, as we do see the gambling market. Just so often that you'll see that, Las Vegas, in terms of Vegas gambling on politicians, very rarely is wrong. Very rarely. I forget the statistic, but I seem to remember it being somewhere in the 90+% that the odds have always tended to be towards the right side. I believe actually the Hillary Clinton-Trump 2016 election was one of the few times that the Vegas gambling markets were not correct. And so a lot of people made a lot of money by betting on Trump winning that one. But other than that, I don't think it's ever occurred on a regular basis where the gambling markets are not right in the long run. A Bear, debate will be an AI hoax if there is one. Don't trust the Biden mess. See the new Biden. Biden figures out who he is each morning and countless times throughout the day, as he is reminded by all of his handlers. And so I would not be surprised to see artificial intelligence utilized for a lot of these things. Look at what we can do with it. That's just, me on the computer. That is not an organization with the power and resources that the Democratic Party has. Who knows what they are capable of doing with artificial intelligence in order to fake things. As a matter of fact, we're actually going to look into a little bit of that one, because AI Godfather I thought this one would incite some very, very interesting opinions from everyone in the community. And so, Professor Jeffrey Hinton, who is considered one of the godfathers of artificial intelligence, has come out and said, we'll need universal basic income. The computer scientist regarded as the godfather of artificial intelligence says the government will have to establish a universal basic income to deal with the impact of AI on inequality. As he is very worried about AI taking lots of mundane jobs, he was consulted by people in Downing Street. Downing Street is a quote unquote White House for the Brits, and he advised them that a UBI was a good idea. He said while he felt AI would increase productivity and wealth, the money would go to the rich and not the people whose jobs got lost, and that's going to be very bad for society. Professor Hinton is a pioneer of neural networks, which form the theoretical basis of the current explosion in artificial intelligence. Until last year, he worked at Google, but left the tech giant so that he could talk more freely about the dangers from unregulated AI. So I know this one will incite many, many opinions when it comes down to it. But remember, we've been talking about this one. When we looked at the numbers in terms of AI, we know that in the next 2 years, 60% of all white collar jobs are going to be affected by it. We know that by 2030, predictions are looking like around 60% of white collar or mundane jobs will actually be removed from the economy. When we consider these two things together, we have to consider about what are we supposed to do with 80 million people whose jobs are gone? Where are they going to go? What are they going to do with their time? How are they going to put bacon on the table? That is a question. And I'm not saying that UBI is the correct answer, but it is one of the answers that's being presented as an option. And that in and of itself is pretty scary to imagine a world where we literally wouldn't be able to survive or have any jobs to do, in which case we would be reliant on the government. That is not a future that I am looking forward to in the slightest. That is a terrifying future. But it's kind of hard to imagine. It's kind of hard to imagine with what AI is capable of that we aren't going to have to think through something of that nature. What are we going to make? Is everyone just going to become a job that doesn't matter? Are we just going to give people jobs to do nothing? Is it going to be a world of Walmart greeters? We'll all just be standing around welcoming people to a store, and then the AI will take over actually helping them make a purchase. I don't know. But when it comes down to it, what else are we going to do? What else are we going to do with our time? I just saw a video that was about Barron Trump that had the same voice Esther's AI videos the other night. I would not have known it was AI. Yeah. Overcoming victory. The vast majority of what you are seeing online in the news, in articles, is artificial intelligence nowadays. It's not a human. Humans have already lost this battle. It is too late. We are not winning. AI is smarter than us. AI is better than us in terms of being able to produce work at an extremely cheap and fast rate and extremely high quality. And so we all need to be aware that what we see is not reality. It is not necessarily true. Just because it looks real doesn't mean it is real. That is, I'm just still waiting for the major AI and deep fake releases for this year's election to come out. I expect them to happen very, very soon, guys. Very, very soon, you are going to have videos releasing of Biden saying crazy things. Well, crazier than what he says on his own. And you're going to see videos coming out saying crazy things as Donald Trump, as different politicians, as different business leaders. Expect it to happen. And that's the reason that you're going to have to take everything with a massive grain of salt when it comes down to it. Everything that is released is going to have to be assumed to be fake. And the problem is there's no way to prove it. I can't take any of those videos, any of those things, and point to one thing and say that means that it's real. I can't. And I don't know if anyone else has figured out how to either. When it comes down to it, what the AI is creating is indistinguishable from what a human would create. The only thing that you can really point to is that the AI just does a better job than us. Honestly, when I see really, really well done things, I'm starting to assume they're not done by a human. It's well done because it's fake. That is what I am starting to look towards as a metric. And that is not always going to be the way it works. All right, though, considering on, remember the whole everything you see is fake. Well, Hollywood has embraced AI, but is scared to admit it publicly. A series of scandals surrounding the use of artificial intelligence in movies like Late Night with the Devil and a Netflix documentary has meant studios are reluctant to acknowledge they are using AI, but that doesn't mean they're not. AI has a PR problem, is what Dave Strapinis says. There are tons of people who are using AI, but they can't admit it publicly because they still need artists for a lot of work and they're going to turn against you. Strapinis, who worked on Avatar, among other films. And yes, recently, Film Studio 824 was criticized for releasing a series of AI generated poster ads for its critically acclaimed movie, Civil War. But movies like Civil War and The Late Night with the Devil are just the ones that have been caught using AI. Says that behind closed doors, producers, writers, and VFX departments have all embraced AI. Screenwriter Dave Defendi says people are just scared to admit it publicly. AI is deeply unpopular. And yes, it's we have a different thing, I think, essentially, as humans. We want art to be human, but we're not capable of distinguishing whether the art was made by a human or not. And so essentially, as long as they don't tell us, we seem to like it more. And this in and of itself is creating a essentially where artists are using it to make better art, but they're unwilling to let us know that they are. Pink Floyd prompted anger when an AI video to one of their songs won a prize. And the outrage mainly stems from how generative AI models were built. Midjourney founder David Holtz admitted to using 100 million images without consent and reading between the lines. It's obvious that every major generative AI model was built in much the same manner. And so that is important to keep in mind. Every AI knows what it knows because it watched us. It only is as smart as it is because we fed our images in. We fed artwork made by real humans. We fed articles written by real humans. That is the reason it knows. We gave it history books that we wrote. We gave it science books that we wrote. It understands everything that it understands because of our knowledge. It's just capable of doing so much more with it than we are. And that does lead to a very, very interesting conundrum of who really owns anything. How do you prove that you own an image? You know, that goes back to kind of like the whole crypto and blockchain thing. But how do you prove that the image was something you made? How do you prove that it was your artwork, not just the AI that you asked to make it? That in and of itself is going to be very, very difficult to figure out as we continue forward. And it's going to be very profitable. The market size in the AI market is projected to reach $184 billion in 2024. I actually believe this is an extremely conservative number. I have seen estimations that would put it at $1 trillion by 2025. And I really have no doubt that it will not be talking about trillions of dollars in the next couple of years. AI by 2030 most likely will be a $10 trillion industry. And that in and of itself is, well, it's an opportunity for all of us in terms of looking at investments. When it comes down to it, whoever picks the right AI company and the right AI stock, the right AI investments is going to be very, very wealthy come 2030. And of course, this will be very much something similar to the the internet boom, where we saw people purchasing any and all tech or internet based companies, no matter what it really was. And I imagine that it will be very similar with this, where there are going to be winners and losers. Certain companies are going to come out on top in the long run, but we know the money's going there. It is going to happen. AI is going to be worth an absolute fortune. And we also know that when it comes down to it, we do not have a government that is willing to do anything about it. And that in and of itself is scary. Developments over the last year showed governments were unwilling to rein in military use of AI. While the competition to develop products rapidly meant there was a risk tech companies wouldn't put enough effort into safety. This is what we talked about the other day, everyone. Remember that all it takes is one country stopping, one company stopping. The other countries, the other companies aren't going to stop. And so we've created a race against time that is very much going to be to the detriment of all of us. AI needs to be regulated. How do we regulate it? How do we regulate something when China's not going to listen? How do we regulate something when Russia's not going to listen? When it comes down to it, we either have to try to figure out some way of convincing everyone on the planet to turn off their artificial intelligences, or we have to make ours way better than theirs. And that is the only two options. There is no middle road between the two. We either stop it or we win. And winning may end up with all of us losing in the long run anyway. And so that is something that I will definitely leave everyone to make their own decision on. When it comes down to it, I just present the information. It is not a matter of whether I personally believe that we should do one route or the other. If we were to start talking about those type of things, that would definitely take the entire stream off of the rails, because I have a lot of opinions in regards to what we should do, and none of them are usually considered to be appetizing in terms of what would be required in order to deal with it. When it comes down to it, we probably need to start thinking in far more extreme degrees of which route we're willing to take on some of these things. AI is something that we have to win. We have to win. If we don't win, then Iran wins. If we don't win, then China wins. If we don't win, then Russia wins. It is a winner take all game, and whichever country has the strongest and the best is going to win. And so, do you want to win or do you want to lose? Is really the question. And now, what are you willing to do to win is the follow-up question. Pirate 2 Godly says, "Are you ever going to open your own crypto brokerage company?" Maybe at some point following or in the future, that might be something that I would be interested in doing. When it comes down to it, though, as I parrot so very, very often, I'd rather get people the information for free so that they can be their own holders of their financial future, rather than them having to start trusting companies or these organizations ever again in the future. It's the opportunity that crypto has given us. It's decentralized finance. We have the ability to control our own financial futures for the first time, really, at least on a societal level. All right. Oh, Deborah holding a 2-day-old. Everything is good in the world. That is wonderful. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. It's big boy. We are governed by criminals. That's for certain. That is for certain. And Captain Spivvy, AI is 100% plagiarism. I guess that in a certain way, you would have to say that it is, because it learned from us. But by that same definition, then everything I do is plagiarism, because I was taught in school and I plagiarized it from my teachers, from the books. By the same logic of the AI learned from the information we provided, then are we not plagiarizing when we learned from other humans? It's a difficult debate to really figure out how to place it into context, or how to really place it into a box. Anytime you try to trap that ghost, it slips right out. Anytime you try to logically figure out, well, is it or not, it eludes being controlled or being defined. As a designer, it's hard to prove. It is. It is extremely hard to prove whether something is AI or not. Yeah, Petrichor Ranch seems like one of those things you better learn how to use and understand before it gets out of control and you still have discernment. Exactly. Right now, it's possible for you to understand how it works. It's possible for you to be able to look at something and say, that doesn't smell right. Something is wrong. Now, in the future, this technology is going to get to a point where that's no longer an option. You will not have that ability to figure it out. Now is the time to be understanding. All right. Yeah, all right. Michelle News, betting on that long shot. To be honest, I'm from Arkansas. I was naturally a Clinton fan, so appalled. Then I took my red pill and saw Joe M's video in 2016. I started my journey and scared you, Dad. That's awesome, Michelle. Yeah. Everyone's journey is their own. Everyone's journey is their own. And when it comes down to it, I'm just happy whenever people are awake and questioning. Doesn't matter when, it doesn't matter how. It's just that we're awake and we're questioning. We don't have to all agree, but we at least need to all be questioning what reality is and what is fact, because we live in a world where the very idea has really been stolen from us. Reality and truth is an abstract thought nowadays. Nowadays, what is true? I don't know. I wouldn't believe a video of anything anymore. Why would I? I know I can just make it with an AI. I could make the video. If I can make the video that looks as real as possible, then I assume there are malicious actors all over the planet that are constantly making these type of things in order to confuse us. And so it's tough, but being awake and being questioning is the best thing that we can do. It's all we can do. All right, though. Rhonda Gilly, it's similar to the nuclear weapons, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It is absolutely, Rhonda. It's similar to nuclear weapons, where the degree of strength, power, and a massive change in terms of how the world works, it's very, very similar. Where we have to have the biggest and the baddest. If we don't have the biggest and the baddest, then someone else will. And that is going to lead to another arms race. It already has. There's currently an arms race going on when it comes to AI. And that is something that we need to be even more careful with, because we came so close with the Cuban Missile Crisis, with so many other false flags and such throughout the Cold War. We came very close to the world being over. And now with AI, if we give AI the power, it won't be something where a human can step in and stop it. Once we've given AI the power, it's going to make decisions and commit actions at such a speed that we can't stop it anymore. And that means that I would think that it's potentially even more dangerous than nuclear weapons. When it comes down to it, nuclear weapons at least can't fire themselves. AI can build a nuclear weapon and then fire it. That is an extra level of scary. An extra level of scary. All right, though, guys, I do have to go and be ready for the next podcast. And so I am going to go ahead and bid everyone adieu. Thank you so much for joining today. And absolutely, absolutely be looking forward to hearing Kukla's song a second time. I will make certain to go ahead and send you an email with it as soon as the stream ends, Kukla. So thank you guys so much. And I will see everyone over on the original Mark Z show in just about an hour. Peace, guys.